Yeah, Dark Phoenix. That was a thing that happened. But I went inside anyway because lifelong X-Men fan, and even though I was introduced to X-Men through the cartoon, yeah, this was the first exposure of mine to Chris Claremont's era. I started buying the comics thanks to the cartoon, but this was my first exposure to his work. This is the first paperback collection I ever owned, so yeah, Dark Phoenix, it holds a lot of significance for me, and speaking of significance, we got right here. This is my darling little squirrel, and the day after my birthday, after I saw this movie, double mastectomy because of a tumor to make sure none come back. Look at that. Look at that. It's a friggin' train wreck down there. There you go. Put you back there. Gross, huh? Anyway, Dark Phoenix, what can you say? Had such a troubled production history and like reshoots and like reshuffles and like the entire third act they had to digitally recreate sets. Also, oh boy! But is it at least better than Fantastic? Well, yeah, but that's probably the lowest bar there is to clear. So is it good? No. Well, I'd say it's good-ish. I didn't hate it, and it's not just because I'm a big X-Men fan. It's like I grew up with Spider-Man and Fantastic Four as well, and I had not kind words about Fantastic, and I fucking hated Homecoming. That's the only shit MCU movie there is thus far. Ugh, kind of worried about Far From Home, but that's a topic for another time. So Dark Phoenix, it's actually starts out pretty good. It's like it gets you moving because like a mission to space. They just send him right off into space after the initial flashback scene with Jean Grey. I mean, they don't waste time. It's like, whoa, they're going to space now? Damn. It was a really good scene with all of them using their powers in some way to get a to keep the shuttle from falling apart and getting the astronauts to safety. It was a really nifty scene. And then they come down and then they're treated as heroes. It's like, wait a minute, what alternate reality? Oh wait, let me rephrase that. What alternate reality do we wake up then? They're supposed to be protecting the world that fears and hates them, and then it's like they're gushing over them like the Avengers in the MCU. Or actually, no, remind me more about Fantastic Four than Avengers, because well, Reed Richards he purposely started the whole celebrity worship thing so people would be afraid of the friends and family that he fucked over with his short-sightedness. But yes, so yeah, that drew me in, and but of course, then Mystique has to point out that one bad day, and it's back to being worried about thrown in cages, and yeah, a lot of like it shows in a subtle way to make you think that stakes are higher because they got something to lose here, and but of course, people are just whining about that one X-woman scene. It's like, God damn, this movie had problems that I'm gonna get into, but this is what I've been hearing the most about. I didn't watch any of the trailers except one. Didn't really keep up with news, so Dazzler having a little cameo that was a surprise. But still, that was that one line. It dropped like a turd on the floor, like Cartman taking a crap on the teacher's desk, and then it's quickly forgotten about and has no relevance for the rest of the film. But that's what I keep hearing about. It's like, what the fuck, people? What the fuck? What's with this anti-SJW bullshit? Seriously, what the fuck? So yeah, it starts out good. It gets you interested, and they actually a bit true to the comics because again, it's dealing with the space shuttle, just like in the comics, and possessed by some cosmic force, just which is what it was really revealed the Phoenix Force to be. But it's good, and there's like a couple scenes where X-Men are taken out. It's like truly shocking, but the momentum, all you heard about like troubles with production and Simon Kinberg being a first-time director, eventually you see what they were getting at because they couldn't keep the momentum throughout the whole film. I mean, remember Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, where it felt like they could have like spent 10 extra minutes with Galactus, actually have him be Galactus instead of the fart cloud. It felt like they just rushed the ending. Well, it felt worse here. It's hard to describe, but the momentum just petered out. It just sputtered out, and okay. And the thing where they had to recreate the sets digitally, you'd think that means, oh, they were in space or something. It's got to involve the Shi'ar, right? No, no, it wasn't. The Shi'ar aren't in this film. Instead, you got like the Dabari, which was the planet that Dark Phoenix obliterated in her negligence in the comics. It's like, and that's probably the biggest flaw. It's like the villains, the aliens, they're just there. It's like they just do the bare minimum with them, building them up. It's just lazy, lazy storytelling. That's easily the movie's biggest flaw, and people have pointed out that there's some lousy editing and special effects in a lot of the fight scenes, so that's also a strike against it. It was entertaining. I didn't feel ripped off. I didn't feel like after Fan Four Stick, I went, well, that was interesting. Let us not repeat it. So yeah, all in all, it was entertaining, but it still felt like the Fox X-Men era ended with a whimper instead of a bang, which is disappointing. It's going to take me a while to decide where this falls on my list of X-Men movies. I prefer it to Apocalypse, I think. I even think it's a little better than Deadpool 2 because that felt a little bit too much like rehash, but point is, it wasn't the complete Fan-Four-Stick level train wreck everyone was predicting, but it could have been a lot better. They really could have done this storyline justice, gone out with a bang, but it just fizzled out by the end. And just a lot of things didn't get resolved. And it's like, because like I said, things are gonna go to shit again. It's like, oh no, they're gonna start hunting mutants again. And oh yeah, toward the end of the movie, they're literally taken out by the MCU. Mutant Containment Unit. It's got it right on their uniforms. This movie was self-aware. Creepy. Deadpool's nowhere to be seen, but it goes meta on you. So if you're curious, if you're an X-Men fan, I'd say go see it. Don't go in with high expectations. Just go and expect to be decently entertained and leave it at that.